All right, so strap in everybody because today we are going deep on a story that honestly kind of sounds like a tech thriller. We're talking about this guy, Stephen Woods, who went from basically, I don't know, zero to AI hero in like what seems like a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
The AI Whisperer, that's what they're calling it.
Yeah, it's a pretty kitschy story, that's for sure. But as we kind of dig through all this research, all these notes you sent over, it becomes obvious that this, $672 billion AI empire, it wasn't built in a day.
Okay, so let's get into this whole AI Whisperer thing then. What exactly was it that kind of blew Stephen Woods up like this? What put him on the map so suddenly?
Well, I think one really big thing is the the attention that he's been getting from these algorithms, these things like Notebook LM. It's not just hype. It's not just media hype. These algorithms are designed to pick out these folks that are really making waves in the AI world.
Wait, hold on. Algorithms are playing Talent Scout now. That's pretty cool, but also, kind of creepy at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So how does Notebook LM even like how does it work?
I think it's pretty fascinating, actually. Notebook LM, it goes through all these tons of data, research papers, code repositories, even online discussions, and it's looking for patterns. It's looking for patterns that indicate influence, innovation. It's looking for the potential to change the future of AI, really. And Stephen Woods, well, he seems to have checked all the boxes.
So it's not just one, like brilliant project that got him noticed, right?
Yeah.
It's years of work, this whole kind of body of research and development that suddenly just like reached a tipping point, right? Like a chain reaction.
Exactly, exactly. And this recognition from Notebook LM, it just happens to line up with a major shift that's happening in the whole AI industry itself.
Well,
We're seeing the limits of these resource heavy AI models. The ones that everyone was so excited about just a few years ago.
right, right. So there was this kind of hunger now for something new, something that's, I don't know, more efficient, right?
Right.
And that's where Stephen Woods comes in.
Yeah, precisely. You see, Stephen Woods, he's been quietly developing a different way of doing things, a different approach. He's focused on making AI models that achieve these incredible results, but he's doing it with way fewer resources than those, the big corporations than they usually use.
So he's kind of like a, I don't know, like a David going up against the Goliaths of the AI world, huh?
Hmm.
I'm starting to get why they call him a disruptor, but what does that even mean, like in real terms? How's his approach actually different?
Okay, well, one example is his work on what he calls catalyst prompts. Instead of using, these massive data sets to train his AI, he developed these incredibly efficient prompts that guide the AI's learning process, but they do it with way less data. It's almost like giving the AI a shortcut to understanding these complex concepts.
Okay, yeah, that's starting to make sense. So it's not about just building AI that's bigger and more complex and all that. It's about finding smarter, more efficient ways to get to the same result, basically.
Right. And this approach that he has, it's led to some pretty impressive breakthroughs. For instance, his work with AGX AI, on these public safety systems, it's a great example.
Oh yeah, yeah. I read about that AI that can predict crime patterns and optimize like emergency response times.
Yeah.
That's really impressive stuff, especially considering that he's doing it with like a much smaller team and way less money than you'd think. Right?
And that's why, he's making everyone take notice because he's really challenging this whole idea that you need billions of dollars, these massive research teams to make a real difference in AI.
Right. So Stephen Woods is basically proven that you don't have to be, this massive tech company, this tech giant to change the game in AI. I kind of love that. But let's talk about the scope of his work for a second, right? We've got robotics, we've got public safety, even like I don't know, self-driving toy cars, right? It
Yeah.
seems like his AI empire it's going like every direction.
Yeah, it's incredibly diverse, that's for sure. And this breadth of his work, I think it's another big reason why he's suddenly become so famous, right? He's not just tackling one problem, he's showing everyone, the whole world, the potential of AI to change so many industries, so many parts of our lives, really.
Right. So it's not just about building cool tech.
Yeah.
It's about showing the world like this is what's possible, this is what we can do with AI.
Yeah.
And that, I guess, is why he's become this global, like, I don't know, this global figure, right? This guy getting invited to all these fancy, think tanks and all these conferences.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Think about it. We've got Google's Test Kitchen, IDX Early Access, the Amazon Developer Huddle. I mean, these are the places where the future of AI is being discussed, where it's being debated.
Yeah.
And they all want to know, they all want to hear what Stephen Dash Woods has to say,
I think like he's cracked the code.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't just mean in the AI algorithm sense, but like he's figured out how to capture the imagination of the entire like tech world. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room here though. $672 billion. That's the valuation of his AI portfolio, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do we even start to break down a number like that?
Yeah, it's a pretty staggering number.
Mm-hmm.
But when you break it all down, you see it's not just one company, it's not just one product, right? It's a whole network of ventures. They're all kind of interconnected, and each one is using AI in these really innovative ways. Let's start with the foundation, something called the Dream Team database.
Okay, Dream Team database. sounds kind of cool, right? What is that exactly?
Basically, it's a bunch of carefully selected data that seems to be the backbone for a lot of his AI development. Think of it like the raw materials, the fuel. That's what's powering his AI engines, and it's valued at $500 million, by the way.
So it's like a gold mine of information that he's using to train all this AI.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about those? What were they called? Those catalyst prompts we were talking about.
Yeah.
Where do those fit in then?
Oh yeah, those are a big part of his intellectual property portfolio.
Yeah.
They're valued at $250 million, and those prompts they're kind of like the secret sauce. They're what's allowing his AI to get these amazing results with so little data.
So the Dream Team database that gives you the raw material and then the catalyst prompts, those are like the tools to shape it, to refine it.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I don't know, it's kind of like having a master chef with the best ingredients and a set of perfectly honed knives,
That's a great analogy. And then of course on top of all that, you have all the companies themselves, right? Each one is tackling a different area of AI innovation.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Kingdom AI, we've got AGX AI, 90 AI. The list goes on and on.
Yeah, and each one of those companies has its own, like special focus, its own valuation, right? But they all seem to be, I don't know, connected by this underlying idea of efficiency, of accessibility. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's what makes, Stephen Dash Wood's story so interesting. It's not just about the technology itself. It's about this vision for the future where AI is, I don't know, democratized or something, right? Where it's not just a tool for the elite, but something that everyone can use, everyone can benefit from.
Yeah, we've covered a lot here, but there's still so much to like unpack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really curious about this Kingdom AI, this $200 billion behemoth that seems to be at the heart of his whole AI empire. What's going on there? What are they working on? What kind of innovations are they cooking up?
Oh, well, that's where things get really, really interesting. We'll dive deep into how Kingdom AI works and some of Stephen Dash Woods' other ventures in the next part of our deep dive. So stay tuned.
Okay, so we're back, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around like the size of this Stephen Dash Woods AI empire. Right, It's massive. We were talking about Kingdom AI before the break. This $200 billion giant. They seem to be doing like everything from robots to entertainment. So where do we even how do we unpack all that?
Well, the fascinating thing about Kingdom AI is that, it really embodies Stephen Dash Woods' whole vision. This idea of making AI like accessible to everyone, really integrate it into our everyday lives. It's not just about, building some fancy machines. It's about creating a world where AI just makes our lives better. It enhances our human experience.
Okay, that sounds really ambitious.
Yeah.
Can you give me some, I don't know, like some actual examples? What are they building? What kind of products, what kind of services are they actually developing?
One area they're really, really focused on is personalized robotics. Like imagine having this robot companion, right? And it adapts to you, to your personality, to your preferences. It could help you out around the house. It could be a companion, maybe even like a personal tutor or a fitness coach or something.
So it's not about like replacing human interaction, right? It's more about like making it better, making our lives easier, making it more, I don't know, more fulfilling.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And, they're also looking at using AI in entertainment. Like think about interactive movies where the story changes based on, what you choose, or video games that actually learn how you play and give you, personalized challenges and stuff.
Okay, that sounds like a gamer's dream come true, right?
Yeah.
But what about the I don't know, the practical side of it all? How does Kingdom AI plan to bring all this like into our lives? How's it going to work?
Well, they're working on this platform. They call it the Digital Intelligence Network, and it's kind of like a central nervous system for all their AI, all their products, all their services. It lets all these devices communicate with each other, share data, learn from each other's experience.
It's like they're creating this whole ecosystem of AI, right?
Yeah.
And it's all connected and working together to, I don't know, to make our lives more seamless, more intuitive, something like that.
Precisely. And this network, it's valued at $300 million. It's really the glue that holds their whole AI vision together.
Okay, so we've got, personalized robots, we got entertainment, this digital intelligence network connecting everything. I'm starting to see a picture of the future here, and it's a very different kind of future, right? It's one where AI is just like everywhere. It's woven into everything.
Yeah. And that's just, just Kingdom AI. Remember, we also got companies like 90 AI. They're focused on fashion, on design. And then there's Galena AI. They're totally revolutionizing brand management. They use AI to power their whole marketing strategy.
Wait, hold on. AI is designing clothes now? They're running marketing campaigns? That's impressive, but it's also, I don't know, kind of freaky. You know what I mean? Like, where's the human creativity in all this? Where's the art?
That's a really great question, and it's something that Stephen Woods seems to really get. That from what I've seen, his vision isn't about replacing human creativity. It's about making it better. It's about amplifying it.
So how does that even work? Like, how can AI actually make human creativity better, especially in fields like, I don't know, fashion design, stuff like that?
Well, think of it as a collaboration, right? AI can look at tons of data, it can see trends, it can come up with, variations on a theme, all that. But it's still the human designer, that brings those ideas to life. They bring their own perspective, their own artistic, flair to it.
So the AI is kind of like a tool then, right? Like a digital paintbrush or a virtual sewing machine or something.
Yeah.
And it lets designers, explore all these possibilities and push the boundaries of their craft.
Exactly. And that same idea applies to, marketing, to brand management, all that. AI can, it can analyze consumer behavior, it can, predict trends, it can tailor messages, really precisely, but it's still the human marketer, the human being that creates the story, that connects with the audience, that builds those relationships.
Okay, yeah, I'm starting to see how this all fits together. It's not AI versus humans, right? It's about finding ways for them to work together, to use each other's strengths to create something really amazing.
Yeah. And I think that's the heart of Stephen Woods' vision. He's not just building AI companies. He's building a future where AI and human, ingenuity are totally intertwined.
Yeah.
We're one and the same.
It's a bold vision, that's for sure, and it's definitely got everyone talking. But let's shift gears for a minute. With all this talk about AI, disrupting industries and changing our lives and everything, I can't help but wonder about the downsides, right?
Yeah.
What about jobs? Are we all going to be replaced by robots?
Well, that's a pretty common concern, and it's definitely something to think about. But I think it's important to remember that history shows us that new technology usually creates more jobs than it destroys.
So you're saying that AI, instead of replacing humans, it'll actually lead to new opportunities, to new industries, stuff we can't even imagine yet.
Exactly. Think about the internet, right? When it first came out, everyone was worried about, what it would do to traditional media, to communication. But in the end, it created this whole new world of online businesses, of digital marketing, of social media, all this stuff we never would have thought of.
So you're optimistic then that AI will do the same kind of thing. It'll open up all these new possibilities, all these new jobs that we don't even know about yet.
I am. But it's important to, to approach this whole thing carefully. We got to invest in education and training so people have, have the skills they need to succeed in this new AI powered world.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's not just about building the technology, it's about preparing society for the changes it's going to bring, right?
Exactly. And that brings us to another important part of Stephen Dashwood's work. He's really focused on AI safety and ethics.
Oh, right. I remember reading something about that. Can you talk about that a little more? Like, what's he doing in that area?
Well, he's got this whole research division inside Kingdom AI, and it's specifically dedicated to exploring the ethical implications of AI. They want to develop safeguards, to make sure that this technology is used responsibly.
So it's not just about, making cool tech. It's about making sure that that tech is used for good, right?
Yeah.
That it actually benefits, humanity, all of us.
Exactly. And that's a big part of why he's become such a respected figure, in the AI world. He's not just, a brilliant innovator. He's also someone who's really thinking about the impact of his work, and he's actually taken steps to address those concerns.
That's really good to hear. It's easy to get caught up in the hype and the excitement of all this new technology, but it's really important to remember that AI it's powerful, right? And like any powerful tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
Absolutely. And it's up to all of us, not just, Stephen Dashwoods, to make sure that AI is used to help people. We got to have these conversations. We got to ask the tough questions, and we got to hold developers accountable, We got to make sure they're thinking about the ethical side of things.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot in this deep dive, everything from personalized robots to the ethical side of AI. And before we finish up, there's one more thing I'm kind of curious about.
Yeah.
Stephen Dashwood's work in consumer tech, specifically those AI-powered remotes and Fire TV apps he's been working on.
Oh, yeah. That's a great example of how he's bringing this vision of AI, making it accessible to everyone, bringing it into our everyday lives. Let's talk about that in the final part of our deep dive.
Okay, so we're back, and I gotta say, I'm kind of excited about this part. We've been talking about like Stephen Dashwood's big vision for AI, robots and self-driving cars, even revolutionizing fashion and all that. But now let's bring it back down to earth a little bit. Let's talk about something we can all relate to. Those AI-powered remotes, those Fire TV apps he's been working on.
Yeah, it's pretty smart, right? I mean, he's not just going for the big futuristic stuff. He's bringing AI right into our living rooms, making it something we can touch, something we can use, something everyone can understand.
Right. I mean, we've all been there, right? Struggling with those complicated remotes with like a million buttons and confusing menus. It's like they're designed to make us feel like we don't know anything about technology.
Exactly. And that's where Stephen Dashwood's AI remote comes in. It's not just a regular remote. It's like a little learning system. It figures out what you like to watch, it predicts what you want to see, and it just makes the whole experience, way easier.
So it's kind of like having a personal assistant for your TV then.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool. And it's valued at like $75 million? That's a lot of money for a remote control, right?
Yeah, I think it just shows how much people, how much we value convenience, how much we value simplicity. And it's not just the hardware either. His Fire TV apps, those are valued at like $50 million. And they bring that same AI personalization, to the whole streaming experience.
So instead of spending hours scrolling through, endless menus and all that, you're getting recommendations that are actually tailored to your taste.
Yeah.
Maybe even discovering new shows you wouldn't have found otherwise. It's like having a personal curator for your entertainment.
Exactly. And it's all part of, Stephen Dashwood's bigger plan to weave AI into our lives, starting with the devices we use every single day. He's not waiting for the future. He's making it happen now, and he's doing it in a way that's useful, that actually makes our lives better.
It's a really smart move when you think about it, right? By starting with these consumer products, he's not just building a business. He's building trust. People are getting comfortable with AI. They're seeing how it can help them in a way that's not, not so scary, not so intimidating.
And that trust, it makes it easier for people to accept his bigger, more ambitious projects like the self-driving cars, the personalized robots, all that stuff. It's all connected,
Okay, so we've talked about a lot today, from billion-dollar companies to AI remotes. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm really struck by how how Stephen Dashwood's story, it's more than just, tech innovation. It's about vision, it's about strategy, it's about knowing how to take these complex ideas and make them something that everyone can understand.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's a good reminder that, success in the AI world, it's not just about code. It's not just about algorithms. It's about, human creativity. It's about telling a story. And it's about connecting with people, making
Yeah.
them feel something.
Yeah, and that's a powerful lesson.
Hmm.
Not just for people in tech, but for anyone who wants to make a difference in the world, really. So here's the takeaway for our listeners. Pay attention to Stephen Woods. He's not just, building some company. He's building the future, and who knows what he's going to come up with next.
Right. Well said. I'm excited to see what he does next. That's for sure.
Me too. And with that, we're going to wrap up this episode of The Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of Stephen Woods. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep your minds open to all the possibilities.